wowzers! Jonathan Ross is back for a new one-off last resort with material so new he won't tell you what it is. But be sure he's still bold, still brave, still beautiful. Clive Anderson asks, whose turkey is it? Then Eurotrash gets its giblets out in time for midnight mass. Christmas Eve from 9 on 4. Well stuffed, and it won't repeat on you.
At 3:40, match between Udinese and Inter in Football Italia. But now on 4, let's go stateside.
Good evening from Detroit. Well, we've definitely got the one for you tonight, and with a bit of luck, the man on the wall behind me will take care of the 2000, because coming into the final game of the season, the Lions' Barry Sanders needs 131 rushing yards to join O.J. Simpson and Eric Dickerson as only the third man in history to go over 2,000 in a single season. As great an achievement as that would be, though, it won't mean as much to his team unless they get the one win they need to propel them into the playoffs. The Lions must have a victory tonight or their season is over, and the same goes for their opponents, the New York Jets. Apart from that, it's just another game. Bill Parcells is on the verge of doing something no coach has ever done, take a team with only one win in its previous season into the playoffs. And he's got them this far with special teams, defence and brilliant game planning. But the offensive game plan is only as good as the quarterback implementing it, and Neil O'Donnell has been shaky the last few weeks. With Glenn Foley, who looked good earlier in the season, now recovered from his knee injury, O'Donnell has shoulder trouble. He can't stop looking over it.
I got no control over that. If he's looking over his shoulder, that's his problem. I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean, his job is to get ready to play. And he's going to start the game, and we're going to see what happens.
With Sanders setting records for consecutive 100-yard games and closing in on 2,000, it's easy to forget that the Lions also have the league's leading receiver in Herman Moore. But it's Barry who carries the team, and if he gets his 2,000, he'll probably carry them into the playoffs.
2,000 yards, that would be nice. I can't really complain about 1,900, especially if we get this 9th win. I mean, you know, I don't want to ask for too much.
Now, as I said earlier, only 2 men in history up until today have rushed for more than 2,000 yards. O.J. Simpson was the first for the Buffalo Bills in 1973. Then in 1984, the Rams' Eric Dickerson set the all-time record with 2,105. We invited him down here today to be a sort of one-man welcoming committee for Barry Sanders if he breaks the record. And he spent his whole time since he got down here signing autographs and doing radio interviews. Eric, you've got to pace yourself. It's a long show. We need you for all of it, but you're part of an exclusive club. If Barry joins it today, will you be happy to see him get in, or would you rather keep it exclusive?
I'd like to see Barry join that club. He's a great back. I think all great players want to see other great players in a club like that. It's only 2 of us, myself and O.J. Simpson, and Barry Sanders deserves to be in that club.
Now, you did it with a game to go. You broke 2,000 with a game to go in the season. What kind of pressure is on him having to do it in the final game and make the playoffs too?
Well, it's a lot of pressure because you hope they don't fall behind. If they fall behind, it'll be hard because they'll have to go to the passing game. One thing is, you may say it's not on his mind. I know I did. I said, oh, it's not on my mind, but it really is on your mind to get 2,000 yards.
But obviously he's got to try and get in the playoffs as well, so is it kind of a mental exercise to put it to the back of his mind?
Well, you like to try to put it in the back of your mind, but you can't. I mean, you really can't, because you want to win the game, you want to have a great day, you want to help your team win, and you also want to try to attain 2,000 yards.
Now, if you're the Jets, how do you try and game plan to stop Barry Sanders, or do you just say, well, we can't really stop him, we'll just try damage limitation?
Well, you don't try to stop great players. What you try to do is you try to contain great players. You know, sooner or later, they may get their yards, but, you know, as long as you win the football game, they may stop him, they may not. In the third quarter, you'll kind of get a feel if they can stop him or not.
131 yards away. Quickly, do you think he can get it?
131 yards. Yeah, he could get 237. I mean, yeah, I think he can get 131 yards for sure.
Right. All eyes on Barry Sanders, of course, for the Lions. For the Jets, all eyes will be on Bill Parcells to see how he reacts to Neil O'Donnell's early play, whether he gives him the hook and sends on Glenn Foley.
More than 80,000 on hand in the Silverdome, most of them hoping to witness a bit of history. But Barry Sanders didn't do much on the Lions' opening drive, and they went 3 plays and out. So it's the Jets' ball as we join Dick Enberg, Phil Simms and Paul Maguire. They're at their own 26.
The throw complete as he goes to Johnson, and he has a first down at the 40. A 15-yard play. The rookie Kevin Abrams from Syracuse made the tackle.
Well, Keyshawn Johnson over the last few weeks, the last 4 or 5 weeks, has really become the favorite target for Neil O'Donnell, especially going inside. And he's a big, tall, wide receiver. As for a quarterback, that makes it so easy to throw these balls short and over the middle.
First down at the 40. O'Donnell to Adrian Morrell. Morrell for 4. Second down, 6. To the outside, and it's Johnson again, and he's close to a first down at midfield. Tackle made by Carrier and Brown, and he does have enough at the Lions 49 for a first down.
Well, I think the Lions, what they would like to do defensively, Phil, is force Neil O'Donnell to throw the football. They want to just shut down the run and make him throw outside. And he's had 2 good passes already.
Paul, they like to do that because the Jet offensive line has struggled some, especially late with the injuries. The Jets, you can see their game plan already. Just try to keep the line defense off balance so they can't attack the passer.
Double tight end for O'Donnell. Good protection underneath to Morrell. Oh, almost bobbled that one right into the arms of Reggie Brown, the linebacker. Second and 10. Wayne Corbett in motion. O'Donnell. Oh, what a catch by Keyshawn Johnson as he spears it for another 14-yard gain and a first down for the Jets. 3 catches, Keyshawn Johnson.
It's a good job by Neil O'Donnell. Here comes the blitz from the outside. Keyshawn Johnson sees it. Neil O'Donnell sees it. He adjusts, throws a nice little short pass. Again to the big receiver against a rookie corner. This is a matchup the Jets they must take advantage of.
Johnson, who started the game with 64 to lead the Jets, 1 more than his rookie year. First down at the Lions 35. Morrell to the 31-yard line, never got to full speed, and George Jamison, the veteran from Cincinnati, made the tackle.
Well, the one thing about when you look at Adrian Morrell running with the football, they're a little bit disappointed in the latter part of the season in Adrian Morrell. When you watch him run on that last play, Dick, he's picking. Most runners, they get to the hole, they explode, they go. He is doing too much of the dancing with his feet, not getting to the hole.
Paul, you don't have time to make a couple choices in the NFL. As a running back, you got one choice. You got to make it quick and hit it. He hasn't been doing that.
Second down and 6. Morrell again hitting the backfield, breaks that tackle, and gets to the 26-yard line. A pickup of 5. It'll be third down and 2. Bryant Westbrook from the corner makes the tackle.
Well, here's a little bit of a different situation. Watch Adrian Morrell now. He's waiting for his blockers. So they force him back up inside. He does make a good move here. If he stays inside, he might have been able to pick up the first down.
Third down for the Jets, and it's a long one, closer to 2 yards. And in comes Ray Lucas, who has become Bill Parcells' super third down player, wide receiver, quarterback. You don't know what he'll do. Former quarterback at Rutgers, and he rolls and throws his first NFL pass, complete for a first down. Keyshawn Johnson's 4th catch of this opening drive, and Lucas with his first NFL pass and completion.
Well, Ray Lucas, not to compare him, but it's kind of the slash role that Cordell Stewart did in Pittsburgh. He comes in there, And the one thing he does really well, got a chance to watch him in practice this week, he throws sprinting to his right, he throws to the outside very well. And Coach Parcells knows him picking up these third down plays today for them is going to be extremely important.
Another first down for the Jets on this opening drive. That's gone to the Lions 21, and O'Donnell now goes deep. No one there. Flag is down, however, and Ryan Westbrook, the corner, may have been holding Jeff Graham.
Well, they're not going to call pass interference. If they're going to call anything at all, it'll be holding.
Dick Hantack, the man in the white hat today. Holding is the call against Detroit. The automatic first down. 60-year-old Bobby Ross, former Charger coach, 5 years in San Diego. Took his team to the Super Bowl. And Boss Ross wants to know the particulars.
Holding. Yeah, he wants to know the particulars. What happened was it
5 yards, first down.
There's really a miscommunication, and what happened is the ball is thrown way to the outside. Now you're going to see it right here. That's where they call the holding. Now it's not pass interference. You see him grab his shirt. He's breaking to the outside. The ball's thrown in the corner of the end zone.
First down on the penalty at the 16-yard line. O'Donnell looking for Graham. He's covered. Throws it away. Closest white jersey was Graham. Rice and Carrier, the safeties for Detroit, had blanketed number 81, Jeff Graham from Ohio State. He has 40 catches this year.
That's something the Jets love to do. Once they get inside about the 30-yard line, you can always look for them on an early down to take a shot, throw the ball in the end zone and score quickly, because we know once you drive it down inside the 10, that's a tough spot of the field to score from.
Second down and 10. O'Donnell and the Jets have thrown less interceptions than anyone in the league. 7. Morrell trying to get outside, cannot. Reggie Brown shut the door. Dick Enberg along with Phil Simms, Paul McGuire, and Jim Gray. This is the opening drive for the New York Jets. They've moved all the way to the Lions 16, where it is third and a long 10. O'Donnell swings it to Morrell, and there are plenty of blue jerseys there. A gain of only 2, and that'll force the field goal try.
Well, that's the only guy he had a chance to throw the ball to, Phil, because the rush was on.
The rush was on. Good job by the Lions defense. They covered the receivers down the field, even though Bill's probably saying, Neil, they were open. Throw it down there. But he did a good job. Get the team in position to kick the field goal.
Did he ever tell you that they were all covered when you went there?
Very seldom.
John Hall, the rookie from Wisconsin, to try a 31-yard or 32-yard, depending on the spot, and he drills it.
The Lions' second possession was no more productive than their first. 3 Scott Mitchell passes, none of them anywhere near his receivers, and Detroit had to punt the ball back to the Jets.
Leading 3-0. Jets second possession from the 30. The fake and the throw is complete to tight end Fred Baxter. Baxter's 24th catch of the year is good for 1 yard. Glenn Foley, injured a month ago, has missed the last 4 games, knee injury. Some thoughts this week as he returned to practice that he might see some serious duty. He told us that knee is far from 100%, but looked good in warm-ups, didn't he?
Didn't look good in practice this week. Had a chance to see him. I thought he really struggled. Couldn't even believe. I didn't think he would dress today, maybe, but watching him in warm-up, Dick, you're right. He moved around well, and he threw the ball really well.
Second down, 9. O'Donnell off play action, throwing complete to Wayne Corbett. Out at the 39-yard line, Bryant Westbrook, the number 1 pick of the Lions from the University of Texas, the cornerback, got him out of bounds.
Well, Wayne Corbett hadn't had a catch the last couple of weeks. Toughest throw for a quarterback to make. Neil O'Donnell right on the money to the sideline. And Jet fans, if you're a little worried about your quarterback, he's off to a really good start. Looks poised, relaxed, and throwing the ball well.
And that's important for Neil O'Donnell, isn't it, Philly? I mean, to get those few catches right off the bat.
It is for any quarterback, especially when they've been struggling.
Ray Lucas, the quarterback again, and he hands off this time to Leon Johnson, and Johnson is to the 40 and a first down. So on 2 third down plays, Bill Parcells has sent in Ray Lucas. Lucas with his first NFL completion, and now stays at quarterback to hand off to Johnson, a rookie from Carolina, for the first down.
Well, we can see the trend already. It's probably anywhere from 3rd and 3 or less. Bring in Ray Lucas, and Coach Parcells last night, he gave us a look. He has a game plan, and up there in the big corner, there's all the plays for Ray Lucas, and I think there'll be a little bit of everything in that package today for him.
We've not seen Lucas carry. He's had 3 rushes in previous games for 25 yards, so small numbers, but very productive. O'Donnell back on first down, down the middle to Baxter, the tight end with a first down at the Lions 41, 18 on the play. Mark Carrier made the tackle.
Well, this is the play quarter. Any offense, they love to run. The safeties are split. You have a play action, and what this does, it lets the tight end go down the middle. Neil O'Donnell throws it a hard line drive to make sure he gets it in there before Mark Carrier can make the hit.
I'm looking at Neil O'Donnell, Dick. He's only thrown 1 bad pass in these 2 series of downs.
Jets lead 3-0 on a 32-yard John Hall field goal. O'Donnell's number 7 for 9. First down at the 41. A throwback from Morrell to O'Donnell to Corbett, complete, not out of bounds, inside the Lions 20. Ron Rice was the closest defender, 22 on the play.
Well, this brings back some memories. I probably ran this play 20 times in my career, and they call it Ride 135. Flea Flicker is the name of the play. Wayne Corbett just goes across the field. Watch the Lions defense. They just lose sight of where he is, and this is the guy that's always open. The backside corner. The guys come up for the play fake, and the big gap between the safety and the linebackers are there. Neil O'Donnell does a good job of catching it and just getting rid of it quickly.
They threw that off the back foot. They really didn't get a chance to step into it. On first down, Morrell straight ahead, and he's inside the line 15, a gain of nearly 5 before Reggie Brown can make the stop.
This is where, this is where really the game is played. You like the receivers and the quarterbacks throwing the ball, but when you look at these guys in the middle of the line, remember now, this isn't the line they started out with at the beginning of the year. There's some pretty good blocking in there, and then I'm watching Adrian Morrell run the ball the way he's supposed to.
And, Paul, now I love linemen, offensive linemen. I always love them. Those defensive linemen didn't like.
Second down and 5. But there are a lot of them that like you. 3 minutes, 22 seconds left in the first quarter. Toss to Morrell, has a blocker. He's at the 10. He's in the end zone. Touchdown. 14 yards for the score behind Kerry Jenkins. A pickup tackle from the Bears practice squad when Jumbo Elliott went down, and Morrell gives the Jets a 9-0 lead.
Well, this is what they call a little crack play. Watch the wide receiver coming down inside, getting the crack. It's Keyshawn Johnson doing a really good job of sealing off the inside, and then the guard comes around. Adrian Morrell sees that little hole that time, Paul, and really goes through it hard for the touchdown.
John Hall with the extra point, and the Jets lead it 10-0.
When I tell people I'm part of the World Land Speed Crew, they get pretty excited. They ask like, are you the driver? Are you the designer? Are you the owner? I say, no, I'm the safety guy. I picked up the parachute after the run. They look a little disappointed and go, oh, that's pretty, great. And I say, nope, but the drive home is.
The Finish-Shave Reflex Action adapts perfectly to the contours of your face in a 3-dimensional way. The Philishave Reflex Action. Closer contact for a closer shave. Philips. Let's make things better.
Are you hiding something? Underneath the hair you have is the hair you want. Reveal your hair's true potential with Pantene, now in a new bottle, and with even more provitamin B5. Nothing penetrates deeper, while the formula replenishes shine from root to tip. Even damaged hair can become more healthy looking. Healthy looking hair can become more shiny. Try it for 14 days and see. New advanced Pantene Pro V system for hair that looks so healthy it shines. Go ahead. Release your hair's true potential.
See it, be amazed, and then see it again. Fire! Starship Troopers.
When you get acid indigestion or heartburn, Rennie works fast. In fact, more people in Britain take Rennie than any other indigestion remedy. Fast, effective Rennie for on-the-spot relief.
We've been making wine since the Romans were here.
We've been making beer since the Romans were here.
More spots?
Yeah.
Look, you don't have to bother with all this stuff. This is all you need for spots. New Clearasil Complete. It's all you need to help beat spots.
Classic game on Blitz this week was a Christmas Day playoff meeting between the Chiefs and the Dolphins that turned into the longest game ever. Miami finally won on a field goal in double overtime and went on to the Super Bowl, where you can still be headed if you win the last of our monthly competitions. If you don't snag the trip to the Super Bowl in San Diego, there's the 90s equivalent of the Crackerjack pencil, the Blitz hat and t-shirt set, and that of course is in addition to all the rest of our weekly prizes. This week's question, in fact the question for the next 2 weeks, is when was the last time the NFL played a game on Christmas Day? Call the competition number 08911 110 110 and choose between 1975, 85 or 95. Back in Detroit, Barry Sanders has spent most of the game watching the Jets eat up the clock on their way to a 10-0 lead. The Lions didn't manage a first down until the final play of the first quarter, and the New York Jets defense was doing a good job of shutting down Sanders' running lanes. We pick it up late in the half now with the Lions at their own 20 and still looking to put their first real drive together.
And throws over the head of tight end David Sloan. 1:38 remaining in this first half. Detroit with all of its timeouts.
Some idiot threw something on the playing field right at the players just before the ball was snapped, and it's sitting down there about the 11-yard line.
Yeah,
this thing here looks like tape.
Tape, yep. I think the big thing here for the Lions offense, Scott Mitchell, it hasn't gone well. Do not take a chance and force something. Just trying to get the offense moving. Be careful.
Barry Sanders takes it out of bounds, stops the clock. Cascadden, the linebacker, but very short gain on the play of about 3.
Well, they have plenty of time. A minute 32. In Detroit, they have 3 timeouts remaining. So, but the biggest problem is it's 3rd down and long.
So the Jets have a lot of time too. Now the Jets are on the sideline going, "Wait, we got a chance to maybe run our 2-minute offense." So they're getting ready, thinking about using their timeouts if they have to.
Morton split left, Moore in the slot. On 3rd and long, Mitchell gets away, slides, and well, it's going to be close. It's where the ball is in the arm, not where the feet are. They're going to mark it at the 31, just enough, I believe, for a first down. Out of the backfield, it out of bounds at the 35-yard line, a gain of 4. Barry Sanders, that's his total on his jersey thus far, 20 yards rushing. 111 from 2000.
You know, so far the Jets have stopped him, and it's nothing special they're really doing. They're just being more disciplined, and it really goes back to what you teach these guys probably day one of training camp. Just do your assignment, and don't overcommit on things, and it works well when you always work as a unit.
2nd and 6. Mitchell steps away and hits Morton, his first catch. Tackled, has the first down out at the 42, clock running. Jerome Henderson made the tackle. And time called by Detroit with 1:03 left in the half. That leaves the Lions with 1 timeout.
Well, what happens when you give the quarterback a little extra time? Watch Johnny Morton coming across the field. When you give the quarterback a little more time, it makes the defense commit. And what happened is the Jet defense was looking down the field. So Johnny Morton, Scott Mitchell gets that extra second. He finds him. He looks down the field. Now all of a sudden he sees the short receiver open, gives him the football.
Morton, the #1 pick out of Southern California 3 years ago. New York leading 10-0. Minute 3 seconds left in the half. And movement before the snap. Illegal procedure. False start.
Prior to the snap, false start offense, number 87. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
You know what I see when I'm looking at this Jet team? It goes back to what you said at the beginning of this telecast. You see Morton up on the top, number 87 move. At the beginning of this telecast, what Parcells said to his football team: "Don't you be the one."
Yeah, that's right.
It ends this season for us, and they're all playing like that.
1st and 15 for Mitchell. Throw complete. Tommy Boyd with another catch, and he's tackled by Mickens on the field of play. The clock runs. Mitchell trying to hurry him up there. 50 seconds. Blitz. Mitchell throws. Moore catches first, but it's good for only 3 yards, and the clock continues to run. He'd been better off had he not caught that one.
Well, the big thing is here, just try to get the first down. Still plenty of time. Timeouts to go.
28 seconds as he takes the snap. Good coverage by the Jets. Finally runs out of bounds with the first down at the 41. He wanted his receiver to break Boyd down the sidelines. They could have had a touchdown there, but Boyd didn't read it.
Good job by Scott Mitchell. He's looking for the big play. He knew he could run and pick up the first down. At home, you could probably hear the crowd starting to yell. If he'd have thrown that ball down the field incomplete, well, then there might have been a few boos at the quarterback.
Yeah, because you're looking at 4th down, but Mitchell looked like the way he was running, a little slow motion, trying to run the clock down.
He was hoping Boyd would break free from his man. He was single covered on the sidelines. 21 seconds, 1 timeout left for Mitchell and the Lions. Flag down, the throw incomplete to Morton. No flag on the defense of the Jets as Green, Henderson, and Austin collaborate on the receiver.
You know what you really hate? You see a guy like Morton going up in the air, and he almost gets himself killed down there, and there's a guy back in the backfield holding on offense.
Offense, number 71, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down, first down.
That's Tharp again.
Well, what's happened? The Jets are doing a lot of movement inside, and the Jets all year really haven't been able to do much damage with the pass rush. Good job by James Ferrier making a hard move in, catches the tackle Larry Tharp off guard. He has to tackle him or he's going to hit the quarterback.
Another penalty on the Lions that brings it back on their side of the 50 with 15 seconds left in the half. Passes he has completed have been very short, only a 6.4 average. Blitz, they pick it up. Sanders with a good block. Wide open is Sloan, the tight end, and he stops the clock as he's hit out of bounds at the 32.
Well, Barry Sanders does everything, and you talk about all the things he does, Dick, and he really did. Barry Sanders makes an excellent block to give Scott Mitchell a chance to step up. Barry Sanders is right on the other side of him. He gets a super block. Mitchell makes a good play.
Sloan, the tight end from New Mexico, stops the clock with 9 seconds. Time for one play if they can quickly call a timeout if it's in the field of play. They're in position for a long field goal, nearly 50 yards at the moment.
That's a good point, Dick. There's plenty of time for the quarterback, if the receiver's open down the middle, to give it to him.
The throw, catch, and the tackle at the 27, and the timeout called with 3 seconds left. Mickens made the defensive play for the Jets, and Bobby Ross hoping to at least get 3 out of the final 2-minute drive. As John Jett will be the holder, now it's going to be 44 yards. Just emotionally, this crowd and the Lions need the 3 here. Bad snap. Great kick. And on the final play of the first half, the leg of Jason Hansen gives the Lions their first points.
So the Lions salvaging some points at the end of the half. 10-3 as they go in. And Eric, only 20 yards for Barry Sanders in the first half. 4 more than his quarterback's got.
Well, Bill Parcells has a great game plan. If you look at the game plan, he's throwing short, running when he can run the football, and they're keeping the ball away from Barry Sanders and the Lions.
And Neil O'Donnell, as a consequence, is looking very confident at quarterback for the Jets.
Looking very comfortable. I think, once again, like I say, he's throwing those short passes, that West Coast offense that everybody runs right now, throwing the short passes, picking up big plays, and that's what's hurting the Lions.
By contrast, Scott Mitchell at quarterback for the Lions has looked very tentative back there.
You know, I think he's had problems right now with the blitz. So sometimes they start the blitz, they're not sure if they're going to blitz, and they start to audible out. Like the one play, they went to audible, he fumbled the ball. I mean, it's just a lot of confusion going on.
Now, you said the one thing that would make it very difficult for Barry to get the 2,000 would be if they fell behind. 10-7 at halftime. What do you think his chances are?
Well, right now they still have to throw the football. I believe that, because if you throw the football, you get the chance to stop the clock. If you run the football, the clock keeps running. So I still think they have to throw the football. It'll be hard to get 200 yards, even 131 and a half.
All right, and Barry Sanders, of course, I'm sure would rather get in the playoffs than get in the record books. We'll be back after this break.
One of my clients asked me why her dandruff keeps coming back. The fact is, she used Head & Shoulders, so the dandruff went away. But then she went back to her cosmetic shampoo, so no wonder the dandruff came back.
Head & Shoulders is specially formulated for frequent use. It gives daily protection against dandruff, which cosmetic shampoos wash away, so dandruff can come back. With Head & Shoulders, that doesn't happen.
When you're doing something right, keep doing it.
New look Head & Shoulders. Forget dandruff. Have beautiful hair every day.
There are angels on the streets of Dublin that come down to tempt the likes of me. Did you hurt yourself when you fell from the heavens? Let's stop a short while and have a look at you. Your eyes are a terrible curse to a fellow like myself. And your beautiful hair.
It's all gone.
Jameson, triple distilled to be the smoothest of the smooth.
Cold sore misery? You can't buy more effective relief than new Soothlip. It acts fast to heal cold sores, and it's kind to your lips. It's so powerful it can help stop cold sores appearing at all. Give new Soothlip a whirl. It's kind to your lips and tough on cold sores.
Because you never know when you'll meet the girl of your dreams, you need long-lasting odor protection. Gillette has created continuous protection antiperspirants. They prevent odor for long-lasting freshness.
Thanks.
Gillette antiperspirant long-lasting protection that keeps you ready for anything.
Oh! Swap phone numbers with singles. Call 0891 040404.
These identical twins were separated at birth. The homes they grew up in were very different. They both became successful.
recently traced each other, having suddenly decided to do so on the same day. The new Lexus GS 300, for drivers with a mind of their own.
Against the Bills, Brett Favre was looking to keep the Packers' perfect home record going, along with their momentum for the playoffs. But it was the special teams who opened the scoring after this punt was ruled to have touched Buffalo's Raymond Jackson, and Tyrone Davis recovered in the end zone for an easy touchdown. Buffalo's Steve Tasker disputed the ref's ruling that the ball had touched Jackson, and sadly ended his last ever game being sent off for the first time in his career. And it was back to Green Bay business as usual.
Short drop, Favre looks one way, then the other. Now being chased and got it away for the touchdown to Freeman.
Another veteran playing his last game was Carolina's Sam Mills, and things didn't go his way either. Or rather, they came his way in the shape of the Rams running back Gerald Moore, but neither he nor the rest of the Panthers defense could stop him. On offense, Kerry Collins clinched the one passing title nobody wants.
Collins deep in the pocket, the throw, going deep and intercepted.
Collins finishes the season as the league's most intercepted quarterback and one of the league's most disappointing teams. If the season began in December, Cincinnati might well be Super Bowl favorites, and their hot streak continued against the Ravens.
The size and a little bootleg. Down the middle of the field, wide open, Donnie Scott! Touchdown!
Gunnar Esiason celebrates while his dad thinks about putting off retirement. The Falcons have been another second-half team, and they were looking for their 6th straight win to finish with an even record. They came up against Rob Moore, who finished the season with the most receiving yards in the league, and this touchdown from the Cards' emerging quarterback.
Sanders in motion, Plummer, play action, throws, touchdown, Sanders!
And Jake Plummer denies Atlanta in the final seconds. Wise men say only fools rush back, and Elvis looked like he needed a couple more low-key warm-up gigs before the playoffs. Luckily, the Chiefs' special teams came up big.
Kamarick goes into the open field. Royals is beaten down the sideline. Vanover is gone.
And the Chiefs head into their bye week with a win and a quarterback dilemma. Seattle had Warren Moon back at quarterback as they did their best to upset the 49ers' playoff preparations.
Moon with a pump fake, goes to the end zone. Galloway, touchdown! What a throw!
And the catch wasn't bad either. The coaches must have liked them both because they called the same combination in the third quarter.
Moon unloads, Galloway, touchdown!
A final flourish from Seattle against a resting San Fran.
Back here in the Silverdome, Barry Sanders is still 111 yards away from the magical 2,000 mark. More importantly, his team, the Detroit Lions, are 30 minutes away from elimination from this year's playoff race. They trail the Jets 10-3 going into the third quarter. Here's the action.
Keyshawn Johnson on the first play of the second half as O'Donnell starts this half as he did the game, going to the big rangy Keyshawn Johnson. Neil O'Donnell 12 for 20 and 110 yards. Scott Mitchell 12 of 22, not much difference in yards or completion percentage. But it appeared as you watched it that O'Donnell had the better half.
Well, he managed the game better, Dick. He led his team to 2 scoring drives, and it looked better to us. Scott Mitchell got a lot of those stats in the last drive, and he had to manufacture some of those plays by moving around.
Richie Anderson for Adrian Morrell on 2nd and 2, and he's close to a first down. Robert Bourget and company, the tackle. Sanders has rushed for 100 yards or more in an NFL record 13 straight games since his slow start this year. 13 in a row, his consistency. Then you factor in the fact that all the defense trying to stop him, and the fact he has only 20 yards in the first half today gives the Jets defense very high marks.
Well, Dick, but the thing is with Barry Sanders, a lot of teams kind of stop him for a while, but every play is capable of going for 50 or 60 yards, and that's what usually drives him up over 100.
Ball deflected in the air, intercepted by Mark Carrier. And Carrier, the former Bears, at the 35.
and down at the 31. The first turnover of the game goes to the Lions.
Well, when you pressure the quarterback, you make him move around, you make him throw the ball before he wants. What happens is the quarterback gets excited. You're Neil O'Donnell. You move around a little, and now he's going to throw a short pass. Quick play action fake. Nobody's open. Now he moves. You get a little excited. Throws the ball just a little harder than you want. Richie Anderson can't come up with the catch.
But despite great field position at the 32-yard line, the Lions still struggle to get Barry Sanders going, and they had to settle for a field goal to make it 10-6. We pick the action back up now after the kickoff.
Can the Jets make the playoffs? They lead 10-6, and they draw a false start as Fred Baxter leans offside. The thing about Parcells is he doesn't condone penalties, and it reflects in...
Ball start. Offense number 84 prior to the snap. Still first down.
That's only the second penalty in the game. Only the 80th this year. Third best, third fewest in the league. And he also is the least number of turnovers, least number of interceptions.
Well, Dick, a lot of that comes from the fact when you practice with his teams every day, it's like a game. He tolerates no mistakes in practice, so he carries over each Sunday for his football team.
The Lions fans roar on 1st and 15. The swing pass to Anderson, hit immediately by Reggie Brown.
The defense for Detroit, they're playing so well, they're going to force the offense to do something.
Well, you know what? The 5-yard penalty the Jets had, that's a big play. It gives the defense, the crowd, it gives them everybody a little momentum. Now Neil O'Donnell drops back. He can feel the pressure. He doesn't want to add to the things that are going wrong for the Jets. Drops it off quick. Good tackle outside by Reggie Brown.
Loss on the play. It's 2nd and 18. Throw complete to Baxter, who is topsy-turvied by Ron Rice, the safety from Eastern Michigan, out at the 25-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 10.
I like the play. It's a 9-yard play. You pick up half of that yardage. Now you're back down to 3rd and 10. You have a chance.
Well, you like the play, Paul. They don't have any choice here. It's a blitz by the Lions. They have to throw what they call to the hot receiver, which is Fred Baxter, the tight end. Good job of him seeing the blitz and catching the football.
Away from the rush. Open field. Slides with a first down out at the 43-yard line. Big scramble from the veteran O'Donnell.
Neil O'Donnell does a good job. It's a blitz by the Detroit Lions. Neil O'Donnell knows the pressure. They can't pick it up. Look at the top of your screen. All the blitzers come. The Jets do not pick it up. O'Donnell protects the ball, steps up. And when you're a quarterback and it's a blitz, look at all that open space in front of him.
So one of the things that happens when he breaks out, he sees all the defensive backs are all facing down the field the other way. So they don't even see him break out.
That's right. They're chasing receivers.
It's the longest run here in the 16th game of the season, the longest run by O'Donnell all year. And Robert Porcher walks off slowly. Part of that, I think, just frustration that he missed O'Donnell.
Well, Robert Porcher said yesterday he's going to get a little pressure on Neil O'Donnell. He gets sandwiched by 2 of the linemen. That would hurt. But he said yesterday he was looking forward to rushing Neil O'Donnell, this Jet offense, and him as a quarterback, Dick. But he says he doesn't move around. And defensive linemen love coming after a quarterback who stands there.
Wayne Probett in as Keyshawn Johnson out. And Ray Lucas on first down. Fake, roll, and throw. Beautiful throw, and Kyle Brady with a first down inside the Lions' 40-yard line.
Well, the Jets trying to confuse confusing the Detroit Lion defense. What they do, they bring in 3 tight ends. So if you're playing defense, even though Ray Lucas is a quarterback, 3 tight ends on this side, 1 went in motion. Here comes Kyle Brady across the field. Look at that big hole. And we said earlier, Ray Lucas can throw the ball very well on the run. He demonstrated it that time.
Lucas 2 for 2 as he has completed his first 2 NFL throws. stays in. Hand off to Anderson to the 36-yard line, a gain of just 1. Ray Lucas, the former Scarlet Knight of Rutgers. He was on special teams, and on that tackle, there's his first NFL pass, completed to Keyshawn Johnson. On the option, a gain of 19 and another first down, and you've just seen him drill a first down pass to Kyle Brady.
And you know, when Ray Lucas is spreading out throwing that ball, he's hyped up. That ball's got to be coming out of his hand as fast as it can go, because this guy is excited about playing quarterback again.
2nd and 9 in the biggest game of the year. Lucas stays in, keeps it, rolls, first down as he skips along the sideline, sees the sticks, and ducks out with a first down at the 26.
All right, this is against the linebacker, Reggie Brown, number 59. He's the guy that's on the outside of the line. Watch what he does. He goes inside, and when he goes inside, Baxter makes the block inside. Lucas gets outside. There's nobody there.
Great point. When Ray Lucas is at quarterback, if you're outside, the one thing you got to do is stay outside, because his speed, he's going to run there most of the time.
Speaking of outside, Neil O'Donnell is outside looking in as Lucas running the offense here in the third quarter. 6.5 remaining in the third. As Lucas on first down throws his first setup and throw, and it's complete to Crabette. And what isn't he doing right? He's 3 for 3 throwing.
Well, I don't know. That sheet Coach Parcells showed us yesterday with his plays on the offensive calls, I think they've used them all already. So it's maybe draw up some new ones this time.
But Parcells really had to make a decision, Phil, before this game as who he was going to play as his backup quarterback or third quarterback.
And we're seeing the reason why. Well, Glenn Foley still not feeling well, but we see the reason why he wanted this guy to get in the game and make some plays for him.
Amazingly, Lucas, on 2 rushes, has more yardage gain than Barry Sanders in the game. Hand off to Richie Anderson down to the 20-yard line, a pickup of 2. That'll bring up third down and about 4.5.
Most importantly, what they're doing is they're staying in bounds, they're completing passes, they're running the ball, and the clock keeps going.
And you know, Paul, the big thing is the offense, you said it, they were struggling. The Lions defense starting to play well. You're the coach. We got to change momentum here somehow. So he inserts Ray Lucas, and it does change the game.
Leon Johnson and Lorenzo Neal in. Lucas, who was a free agent undrafted by New England last year, as Parcells picked him as a special teams player. Third down and 4. Lucas running out of room, throws, that's incomplete, flag down. Gerald Soule was the intended receiver. Holding is the call against the Jets.
Parcells is livid. Mulamala is the guy that comes out number 75, and he's holding. What he's trying to do really is to protect his quarterback. That's the one thing, but it's not going to make him happy.
Offense,
Parcells.
number 75, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down, third down.
Chiapelli Mulamala from Washington, the right tackle.
There's Mulamala right here, number 75. Now what? See the holding? This is the flag comes out right here. Lucas goes out. The ball is thrown down. You know, I don't know that I would really take the penalty here. I'd put him in fourth down and make him kick the field goal.
But the Lions take the penalty, moving him to the 29-yard line where it is third down.
Surprised they're keeping Ray Lucas at quarterback. Quite honestly, this time, this type of situation, it looks for a pass down the field, something he hasn't done so far.
Third and 14. Down the middle. Intercepted. Back comes Ron Rice. Out of bounds, so the Jets are denied.
Boy, there should be a flag at the end of this on Ray Lucas, because he just throws Ron Rice after he's out of bounds. He throws him into the camera people that are down on the field. This is a terrible pass.
Well, it would be, Paul, but we gotta realize who it's coming from. Ray Lucas has never seen this type of coverage. He thinks the tight end's going to be open down the middle. Nobody there.
And Lucas compounded his mistake by getting a 15-yard unnecessary roughness penalty. Detroit couldn't score off the turnover, though, and we pick it up after an exchange of punts, with the Lions facing 3rd and 3 at their own 36.
Final seconds, third quarter. Sanders on the draw. Longest run of the game, and he's in the clear. 40, 30, inside the 20. Barry Sanders brings this
Well, according to the unofficial statisticians here in the stands, that puts Barry Sanders' total up to 1938, so he is within striking distance suddenly of 2,000. More importantly, the last play of the third quarter will put the Lions at the Jets 17 to start the fourth. We'll take a break.
You're late. Mum has gone to a lot of trouble over this.
Sorry, Dillis.
It's on the table.
Oh, hello, son. How's my little lad, eh?
Steve, lunch will be ruined.
Lunch is already ruined. Your granny's cooking it. Never mind, eh? Big Mac and fries on the way over. Clever daddy. Hello, everyone.
Soup.
Sony Super Trinitron Wide. Be careful what you watch.
So you were sick last week, were you? Apparently you felt terrible.
I had the flu.
But when David spoke to you on Friday afternoon, you seemed all right.
I was beginning to feel better.
You said you had the flu. We're talking temperature, aches, shivers, headaches. Yet you were able to pick your way through the finer points of Far Eastern futures. I'd love to hear your explanation.
Lemsip Max Strength. Next time you're ill, you try it.
Lemsip Max Strength. Hard-working medicine.
Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy.
Save up to a third on a wide range of fine fragrances at Boots and make someone happy this Christmas.
Thousands of guys are talking on the Gay Exchange. Dial 0891 565 565.
Ring it. Just try it. It's fun.
Call now.
The silky smooth... Hey, what are you moping around over there for? Why don't you bog off back to Greenland?
If I had a hammer in the morning, hammer in the evening, all over this land. I hammer out a danger, I hammer out a warning. If I had a hammer.
Don't put it off. Put it on. Barclaycard.
Welcome back, fourth quarter. Playoff hopes of both teams depend on a win today, and Barry Sanders' 47-yard run, the longest against the Jets all season, has moved him past Earl Campbell, the third best rushing year in NFL history. He needs 61 more to hit 2,000. First down, more importantly for the Lions, at the Jets' 17-yard line. Sanders inside the 10-yard line, a gain of 9 more.
Dick, Bobby Ross told us yesterday, you know, there's a guy at safety you can't block. They said, who's going to block him? They said, well, just get Barry through the line. He will take care of the safety. The safety is Raymond Austin. Watch this, folks. Barry takes care of Raymond Austin.
And the one thing the Lions did that time they haven't done the whole day, third down passing situation, they handed to Barry Sanders.
2nd and 1. Give it to Vardell, and the fullback falls straight ahead for the first down. It'll be 1st and goal for the Lions at around the 7-yard line. William Sanders from Wichita, Kansas. Barry's father, a carpenter, big fan of Jim Brown. He told his son, listening on the radio, here's the greatest running back ever, and he still feels that way despite the threat of his own son to earn that high laurel. And Brown has been very complimentary of Sanders, and Sanders has never said I'm the best. Jim Brown, my dad says Brown's the best. He was the best. First and goal at the 7. Mitchell has to eat it at the 16-yard line. The 3rd sack for the Jets, and rookie Jason Ferguson, the nose tackle from Georgia, with a big play.
What happens to the quarterback? The big mistake. Scott Mitchell gets in this territory. Who do you look for? Herman Moore. He keeps looking, gets locked in on him. He can't change his mind once you see Herman Moore is covered, and that's the reason he gets sacked. Herman Moore is going to go inside and watch Scott Mitchell just look inside the whole time. The Jets do a good job on defense, keep him covered, pulls the ball down, too late.
So 2nd and goal from the 15-yard line. And give it to Sanders. Oh, what a move! Oh, my! Now, it took until the final play of the 3rd quarter, but the curtain has finally raised on the Barry Sanders show, and suddenly he has 95 yards rushing, and more important, the Lions have the lead.
You know what? There's been a lot of defenders this year, over the years. Never lay a glove on Barry Sanders when you have him dead to rights. Otis Smith, he just joins that list.
Trying to add to his record 100-yard games consecutively as Hansen tacks on the extra point.
On the Jets' next drive, though, the quest for 2,000 and for the playoffs suddenly became secondary to the health of Lions linebacker Reggie Brown, number 59. After this play, he lay motionless on the Silverdome turf for over 20 minutes, and the prognosis at first seemed grim. Eventually, though, he was taken to hospital, where thankfully he regained both consciousness and movement in all his limbs. After the stoppage, the game resumed at the Jets' 37-yard line.
Deflected at the line of scrimmage as O'Donnell's pass aimed for Fred Baxter. Here was Tracy Scroggins, 97.
Watch 97, Tracy Scroggins. He sees O'Donnell. He watches him just as he gets ready to throw the ball. He gets himself up in the air and knocks the ball away. Outstanding.
Defensive linemen, they're like defensive backs nowadays. They have to read the drop of the quarterback sometimes, too. When they see a short drop, quit rushing the quarterback. Stop, read his eyes, and try to knock the pass down.
2nd and 10. O'Donnell. Keyshawn Johnson went off his chest. Kevin Abrams covering.
That guy's caught everything they've thrown to him today.
Well, what happens this time? Keyshawn Johnson going down the field, worked very hard to get open. There was a little contact when he separated. I think he had a hard time picking up the ball. He turns. By the time he sees the ball, he can't get his hands out in front of him to make the catch.
The 5th drop pass by New York today. Johnson and Anderson come into the backfield with O'Donnell in the shotgun. 3rd and 10. They pick up the blitz. O'Donnell down the middle. Caught by Graham at the Lion 44. First down, Jets.
Boy, good job of picking up the blitz. Good job by Neil O'Donnell, showing the patience in the pocket and finding the open receiver.
And Westbrook, number 30, watch him. He tries to go for the ball. You see him come in the inside. He's pushing from behind. What? To go for the ball. Here comes Westbrook, 32. Watch what he tries to do. Go to the ball. He misses the ball. Graham concentrates, makes a great catch.
He misses the ball, and Jeff Graham does a good job of getting his body in between the defenders so he can catch the ball.
Parcells, a great fan of thoroughbred racing, trying to drive his team down the stretch. 9:16 to go. Incomplete to Keyshawn Johnson. Kevin Abrams, the corner. Good timing on the hit.
Well, that's all Kevin Abrams can do because he's beaten to the inside. Keyshawn Johnson, as big as he is, watch him. He's not looking at the football. He's looking at the man going to hit him, and he doesn't bring the ball in.
Well, sometimes when a receiver drops the pass, it becomes a little bit of a head game with them, too. They go, well, I got to make sure I catch this one. And it gets a little tougher sometimes if you drop one.
John Hall anticipating a possible roll as the Jets trail by a field goal. Second down 10. This drive started back at New York's 16-yard line.
Oh, he had an extra ball on the field.
It was John Hall on the sideline doing some kicking.
He hit John Hall's on the sideline practicing field goals, and he hit the bar and it bounced out onto the field.
Corbett in the slot right. On the draw, Leon Johnson. Lions all over it. Gain of 2. George Jameson and others in on the stop. Mark Carrier up from the secondary.
All right, the last time they were in a 3rd and long situation like this, Detroit Lions blitzed. And they got caught in it because they got Graham 101 down the field on Westbrook, and they made the first down. Would you blitz again?
I wouldn't, because the one thing I've noticed when they get in these obvious passing situations, the Jets today have done an excellent job of picking up the blitzes on obvious passing situations. Of course, this is one here. I'd play it safe and try to cover the receivers.
Corbett, the man to watch. He's on the right side slot. Graham in motion. 3rd and 8. Corbett, what a catch at the 10-yard line. Corbett, the free agent from Hofstra, where the Jets train, and what a money player he has been, as Bill Parcells referred to him, that little son of a gun. He didn't catch any the last 2 weeks, but he will this week.
Look at Robert Bailey in perfect position. Stay outside. He had 2 safeties inside to help him. He thinks he's got Corbett covered. Neil O'Donnell had to get rid of the ball quickly, anticipates, lays it out. Wayne Corbett makes a good adjustment for the catch.
You know what you just saw? You just saw the perfect throw, the perfect pass defense, and the perfect catch.
33 yards on 3rd and 8. 1st and goal from the 9. Johnson wants to throw, and it's going to be intercepted. Yes. Brian Westbrook on the interception.
Wait a minute. The problem with this is he doesn't have control of the ball, and he's laying on his back. From what I saw over here, he was out of bounds. The ball is not in control, and it comes down as he's laying out of bounds.
First down, Detroit.
Second pass of the year for Leon Johnson. He's going to throw it. He's not going to throw it. Then he decides to throw it. It's way too late. Westbrook out of bounds.
He's out of bounds. I'm telling you, he doesn't have control of the football.
You're exactly right. He does not have control. He's down, and he hasn't. Oh, what a call. Oh, my.
This is a terrible, terrible call for the Jets because Westbrook, watch him. Look at this. He's out of bounds. He doesn't have control of the ball.
The Lions defense held again on the Jets' next drive, getting a reaction even out of the stoic Sanders. Partly because it protected Detroit's 3-point lead, partly because it meant the Lions would get the ball back one more time inside the final 3 minutes, giving him a chance to break 2,000.
Sanders needs 2 for 2,000, and he's right about at 2 there, out to the 44-yard line. And that would put him right on the spot, 2,000. There it is. The linemen, they're the ones who wanted the 2,000. Barry didn't talk about it.
Well, Dick, I think that's what makes it so great. He's so modest, such a good player. And to accomplish this with his style and the size, you know, Barry Sanders, such a small running back, it just seems so improbable, and that's what makes it such a wonderful story.
Trying to add to 2,000 on 2nd and 8. He gets the call. Here he goes. All the way to the 3-yard line. 53 yards, the longest against the Jets defense all season.
The defense gets a little bit tired late in the game. The hole, it's probably just a foot wider, but once he gets through it, hard to bring down.
Well, congratulations to Bobby Ross, his first year in Detroit. He takes the Lions to the playoffs. And Bill Parcells, what a turnaround from a 1-15 year. He showed the greatness of his leadership in taking the Jets to the brink of the playoffs himself.
Well, the Lions are in the playoffs, and Eric, now there are three of you.
That's three of us. That's an elite club, myself, OJ, and now Barry Sanders.
We just saw you emerge from the great pile there of humanity surrounding Barry Sanders. What did you say to him?
I told him, I said, welcome to the club. It couldn't happen to a greater back.
And really, he was the man who fired them up. They had only field goals going into the second half. Then he banged off that 47-yard run. That got them going.
That big run, that turned the game, because then they could run the football. They scored, they took the lead, and that just turned the whole football game around. When you get the lead, then all of a sudden, you can run the ball.
Now, you're happy to welcome him into the club, but you're happy because he didn't break your record.
Well, my record's still staying. I'm a little happy about my record. But, you know, if he ever breaks my record, I mean, he's a great player, and you want great players to break records like that.
All right. Thanks a lot for being here. The Lions are in the playoffs. Barry Sanders has joined the 2,000-yard club. Let's go and join the celebrations. Well, here's a proud man, Mr. Sanders. I see you carrying a game ball there.
Yeah, 2,000 yards.
Hold it up then, let's see it. How does it make you feel to see your son accomplish something like that?
It really made me feel proud to know he's one of the three guys in the NFL who ever got 2,000 yards. I really feel great.
Do you think he's got it in him to go on and maybe one season break the record?
Now, I like to see Joy go to the Super Bowl. I don't care if Barry never get any more records. I like to see him go to the Super Bowl.
Now, you're on record as saying that Jim Brown's the greatest back ever. Any reason to change your opinion now?
I still don't have no reason to change my opinion, because Jim Brown didn't play as many games as Barry played in.
All right. A harsh father. He still thinks Jim Brown is the best running back in history. Let's go inside now and hear from the locker room.
He deserves it through his hard work, through his dedication to the sport, to the game, his character, and his leadership through his play on this team. So it means a lot.
I give him credit. He's a fine young man, and he plays very well, and he did a good job. But I think our guys did a pretty decent job on him most of the time today.
Well, here we are with the man himself, Barry. I know you're not that demonstrative on or off the field, but how did it feel when you finally went over 2,000?
Well, I mean, when you add on the fact that we're about to win, it was a wonderful feeling, because we had a slow start. We just stuck with it, and you know, I had to sort of put 2,000 yards sort of in the back of my mind, just go out and play ball. When it happened, I was very, very grateful, but obviously, you know, there was still a little time on the clock and still a little work to do.
You had to punt when you were 2 yards short, though. Must have been in the front of your mind then.
Well, I felt good about it, because we had them at their end of the field, and our defense had been playing great. And you know, had I been 2 yards short, I mean, it would still have been a good, solid effort on the part of our offense.
Now, I must put one thing to you. I know you're in a hurry to get away. Your dad still reckons that Jim Brown's the best running back in history.
I'm not surprised. You know, my father didn't change his mind that often, but I guess I have still a couple more years, maybe try to change his mind.
All right, thanks very much. Congratulations to Barry Sanders. He's over 2,000 yards. The Lions are in the playoffs. Here's the roundup. A 5-game slide meant Minnesota had to beat the suddenly dangerous Colts at home to avoid sitting at home in January.
Randall Cunningham on the run. He fires to the end zone. Look at that hands by Chris Carter. It's a touchdown, and the best catch I've seen this year. There's a throw and a catch as Chris Carter has his third touchdown catch of the day.
Cunningham to Carter, the old Eagles combination comes through for the Vikings as they make sure of a wild card place.
Darrell Green entered his 218th Redskins game, facing his first ever season without an interception.
3rd down and 5. Here is pressure on Hoying again, and he dumps it off, and it's intercepted by Darrell Green. His first of the year. And Darrell Green is going to go all the way.
A fitting way to break the team appearance record, and the Redskins went on to outgun the Eagles.
A rollout and a pass. Caught, touchdown, Westbrook.
A win for the Skins then, but with Detroit and Minnesota doing the same, it wasn't enough to get them in. Jerry Jones explaining Barry Switzer's retirement options to him before the game, a game some of the Cowboys played as though they were already drawing pensions. Danny Cannell led the Giants to a 20-0 lead as they became the first NFC East team ever to go undefeated in the division. The Cowboys couldn't have looked more defeated, although at least Michael Irvin showed that he cared. This was to be the Bucs' last game at Houlihan Stadium before the Bulldozers moved in, unless they could win and earn the right to play one more there next week.
Carl Williams still on his feet. He took one back last year against Chicago, and he does it again.
That 61-yard punt return by Carl Williams made it 14-0. And after the Bears halved the Bucs' lead, it was Williams again with a catch in the back of the end zone. In the third quarter, Warwick Dunn confirmed the demolition crew's extra week off.
John again up the middle. Comes to the outside. There he goes. That's the big one. Down the sidelines. Warwick Dunn finally pushed out of bounds by Walt Harris.
76 yards, the longest run in Buccaneers history, as they secure their first home playoff game since 1979. Needing a win, or a defeat by less than 65 points to clinch their division, the Steelers gambled and rested Jerome Bettis. Somehow they managed to hold on, and although the Oilers won the game on touchdown runs by Steve McNair and Rodney Thomas, the deficit only just made it into double figures. Last year's Cinderella team Jacksonville had an outside chance of a home playoff game if they could beat the Ugly Sisters of the AFC West.
And a wide open tight end. Jones to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown Jacksonville.
That's the problem with Ugly Sisters. They just don't get to the ball. That result meant the Broncos, without their injured running back Terrell Davis, had to beat the Chargers to avoid going on the road in the first round.
Fox looks for Smith. Touchdown. Sharp has got it. Sharp down the sidelines. One man to beat. It's Harrison. Touchdown, Shannon Sharp.
4 touchdown passes from Elway as the Broncos win at home to stay at home. And here's a look at the final standings, with the Broncos, despite the second-best record in the conference, going in as wild cards behind the Chiefs, while the Steelers win the Central on tiebreakers over the Jaguars. The Jets' defeat puts both Miami and New England in the playoffs, and their game later tonight will decide the division title and which team gets to host the other in the first round of the playoffs. The other AFC game is a Jacksonville-Denver rematch from last year. The top 2 seeds, of course, get a first-round bye. In the NFC, the 49ers are the sole representatives from the Western Division, in sharp contrast to the Central, where everyone except Chicago is in. The Packers as champions, and the Bucs, Lions and Vikings as wildcards. That means there's no room for anyone but the division champs from the East either, so the Redskins just lose out. Next week, the Vikings travel to New York to play the Giants, while the Lions take on the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. The 49ers and Packers will be watching and waiting. So all that remains to be settled is the issue of where New England and Miami will play next week, and that's about to be settled. You can get the overnight results off Channel 4's webpage on the internet, and you can see the game along with all of the action from the last week of the regular season on next week's Blitz. That's 2 days after Christmas. In the meantime, have a merry one.